Know the enemy and know yourself. It is the first rule of Sun Tzu's Art of War. But today, the general faces his toughest enemy yet, the Stoics. Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese military strategist, built his philosophy on one principle: victory. Every action calculated, every variable controlled, every weakness exploited. His treatise has guided generals, CEOs, and competitors for over 2,000 years. To him, strategy is everything. But what happens when strategy meets philosophy? When the pursuit of victory confronts the pursuit of wisdom? Today, Sun Tzu enters the arena to debate against three of history's greatest Stoic philosophers to answer three fundamental questions about how to live. His first opponent? A slave who discovered that chains only bind the body, never the mind. To begin our debate, Epictetus steps forward. Born in chains, Epictetus was a former slave who became one of Stoicism's greatest teachers. He discovered that true freedom exists only in the mind, and argues that the greatest battle we all face is the one within ourselves. So the debate begins with a simple question: who is your main enemy? Sun Tzu doesn't hesitate. Your enemy is external, the rival general, the competing kingdom, the obstacle blocking your path. You must study them to understand their weaknesses. Victory belongs to those who know their enemy better than the enemy knows themselves. Epictetus shakes his head. You're fighting shadows. The real enemy is your own false beliefs, your attachments, your reactions. That rival general, he's simply following his nature. Your true battle is with the voice inside that says you need to defeat him. Control what you can control, Epictetus says firmly. Your judgments, your responses, your will. Everything else, victory, defeat, what others do, lies outside your power. Attempting to control externals is futile and breeds anxiety. Sun Tzu leans forward. So I should master my mind while my kingdom burns? If what you're saying is true, there'd be no point to goal setting or preparation. I advocate mastering your environment through preparation, positioning, manipulation of variables. Strategy matters. You can prepare, Epictetus replies, but don't attach your peace to achieving your goals. The outcome isn't yours to control. I'm not arguing we shouldn't accept our outcomes, but we must learn from them to pursue victory. If I fail, it's because I missed a variable. It's up to me to identify it and control the outcome next time. No, Epictetus's voice rises. You can only control your effort. You'll never have the ability to control the outcome. Your failure isn't your problem, only your reaction to it. You're chasing an illusion of control that will torture you endlessly. Sun Tzu goes quiet. There's wisdom in what Epictetus says. He recognizes it. Perhaps obsessive preparation, endlessly trying to account for every variable, does breed a certain anxiety. Perhaps acceptance of what cannot be controlled brings clarity. But accepting limits? That's not Sun Tzu's way. While you might think this means Sun Tzu had a relentless ability to persevere and push through fatigue, grinding until victory was achieved, let's bring in his next debate partner to challenge that assumption. Enter Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled Rome while writing meditations on virtue and duty. Unlike Epictetus, Marcus held absolute power, yet found no relief in it. He believed that as long as we draw breath, our duty never ends. And the question he'll debate Sun Tzu over is simple. When should we push forward, and when should we withdraw? Knowing when not to fight, Sun Tzu begins, is as important as knowing when to engage. Strategic retreat and rest preserve resources for battles worth winning. The general who fights every battle exhausts his army before the war is won. Marcus's response is immediate. You speak of strategy, but I hear excuses. Any virtuous person would persist in their duty regardless of fatigue. There's always work to be done, and rest often becomes an escape from what's difficult. Sun Tzu smiles. You're ignoring that patience is strategic wisdom. Wait for the right moment and conserve your energy while the enemy exhausts theirs. The patient general wins without fighting. Marcus counters, his voice firm. Excessive waiting is cowardly. If something is right and within your power, act now without delay. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Not for you, not for those depending on you. How many necessary actions die in the waiting room of someday? But you see, thinking this way only leads to overextension. thus weakening your position and creating vulnerability, Sun Tzu argues. One must do only what's necessary to win, no more. Know your limits and operate within them. Marcus leans forward, intensity in his eyes. As long as we breathe, our duty continues. Enough is a dangerous concept that leads to complacency and moral laziness. The moment you decide you've done enough is the moment decay begins. Sun Tzu considers this. There's truth in Marcus's relentless commitment to duty, but there's also something unsustainable about it, a grinding philosophy that could break even the strongest will. Perhaps the question isn't whether to rest, but what we're resting for. I rest to sharpen my blade for the next battle. You seem to suggest there is no next battle, only this endless war. But if life is truly an endless war, how do we face the terror that comes with constant battle? Let's bring in our final debate partner to discuss. Our final debater arrives. Seneca the Younger, advisor to emperors, survivor of exile, and eventually victim of Nero's paranoia. Seneca lived intimately with fear, yet he spent his life arguing that fear itself was a greater enemy than any external threat. For him, philosophy was medicine for the anxious soul. He's here to debate our final question. What is the proper relationship with fear? Fear is a tactical asset, Sun Tzu states. It sharpens the senses and heightens awareness. When properly channeled, I can weaponize it against opponents while motivating my own forces. A general who feels no fear grows careless, while a soldier who fears death fights with desperation. Seneca disagrees. Fear is always destructive to the soul. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. True wisdom means eliminating fear through reason and perspective. You're not harnessing fear, you're being enslaved by it while calling it strategy. But fear is a natural response, Tzu presses. Nature built it into us for survival. We do not wish it away, we harness it. Soldiers who fear death fight harder. Leaders who fear failure plan better. Natural, Seneca challenges. Fear is based on false projections about the future. Since we cannot control outcomes, fearing them is irrational and should be rooted out through philosophical practice. A dog fears thunder because it cannot reason. Shall we be no better than dogs? Sun Tzu stands firm. The anticipation of danger is what keeps the blade sharp. Seneca shakes his head slowly. It's also what dulls the mind. You are suffering twice, once now, in your head, and perhaps once later, in reality. Better to suffer twice than be surprised once, Tzu rebuffs. But most of what you fear never happens, Seneca challenges. You are bankrupting your peace today to pay for a tragedy that is purely fictional. You may think you're using fear, but when you pause to listen to yourself, you'll notice fear is using you. Sun Tzu pauses. He thinks of sleepless nights before battle, the gnawing anxiety of overlooked details, the weight of knowing one mistake could doom thousands. Is that sharpened awareness? Or is Seneca right? Is it suffering inflicted by imagination? Perhaps, Tzu admits. There's a difference between respect for danger and fear of it. One clarifies, the other consumes. 3 philosophers. 3 fundamentally different approaches to life's greatest challenges. Epictetus offers control. Marcus offers duty. Seneca offers reason. And Sun Tzu? He didn't reject them. He realized that a general with a calm mind is deadlier than one consumed by rage. He listened to them all because he had battles to win, and he needed every weapon he could get. Now, think about your own battles. Do you need more stoic armor or more strategic sword? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know who you'd like to see square off in a debate next. Thanks for watching. Until next time.